reason that I am pro-chief, not only does it have to do with the history of the university's stance with the chief, but also because it's just a really great memory for me as well. So I grew up, my dad and my aunt are both alumni of the university, and as a result I grew up with all of the traditions of the university as well. So when I got here, one of the big things as a child that I wanted to be able to experience was standing on the court at halftime of an Illinois basketball game while the chief did his dance. Now that I'm here and as a student and as president of Students for Chief Illinois, I understand that there were flaws with the way that we had represented the Native American people in the state of Illinois, and also just some of the aspects of the portrayal of Chief. And the reason that I think that we should continue to use him as a symbol is just a lot because of the history associated with it. We do have a very, very large alumni base that already relates to it. And not for just the sake of not upsetting them, but also because I think that we could kind of rebrand the symbol in a new light to make it more of an educational tool piece. We already have a very, very large alumni base that support the chief and would very much support the history of the Illinois nations being used to teach our new students.
I think the university's approach is that we need to move forward. Actually the Illinois Student Senate now has a committee that is working on the idea of proposing some sort of a process to identify a new mascot for the university, and I think that's really the direction that the university would rather see the issue go.
I understand that the former portrayal that we had was not a completely historically accurate one. The regalia that we used was from the Sioux tribe instead of one that would have modeled the Native American tribes that were in Illinois, and that the dance wasn't necessarily like 100% authentic. However, the dance was learned was modeled off a dance that the first portrayer went to a conference in Denmark, and actually there was a Native American chief that came and spoke there, and he modeled it off of a lot that he learned there. So I understand that, like, why minority students might have a problem with that, because it isn't 100% authentic. And that's why I think if we want to move forward with Chief Illinois as a symbol for the university, it needs to be something that minority students, you know, Native American, the Latino population here, as well as the African American students, really have a voice in saying, you know, this is why we don't think it's correct and this is what we think needs changed about it. And then also work with the Peoria tribe out in Oklahoma, who would be the tribe that we would work with if we wanted to try and bring the chief back.
There was a discussion among many, many stakeholders over a period of many years, and I would say all of that went into that decision. Okay. The decision of the Board of Trustees recognized the fact that while the chief was a part of our history, that time has passed and it was time to move forward with something else.